So it happened, the Sony State of Play took place today, and it was a pretty decent show, but they capped it off with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It was information sensory overload. My brain is still trying to process everything that I saw in that trailer and everything from the info dumps. So there's a ton of information. There's the trailer breakdown, the 2 different blog posts from Square Enix and PlayStation. There's the deluxe editions, the collector's editions, the box art, the release date, a lot to go over, so I'm going to make 2 separate videos so this video isn't super long. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get into it. Click the like button, subscribe, because we're talking about 7 Rebirth in this video. So starting off first is the release date. The game is coming out February 29th, 2024, so it's right around the corner. This is going to be super exciting to get our hands finally on this game after 4 years, barring any delays. So in lieu of doing a review for this game, I instead, assuming I can get everything looking and sounding good, we'll be doing a full playthrough of Rebirth here on my channel. We're going to play through the game. You're going to get my full, honest, genuine reactions and emotions from Rebirth. So that should be fun if you're interested in maybe checking out my playthrough of the game. But we also have the game's box art, which is beautiful. It's got Cloud on one side, Zack on the other, with the shithead Sephiroth in the middle. So it's kind of like Cloud and Zack represent their own different timelines. You got the dude in the middle who wants to ruin everything, and in the sky it looks like Meteor is being summoned. So it's a really beautiful, colorful box art. It's very eye-catching, and I'm going to use this picture as a wallpaper because it is gorgeous. Up next are the different versions you can buy. Again, there's going to be the physical and digital editions, and the pre-order bonus for all of these things is the Moogle Trio summoning materia, so that's a nice little bonus. Who knows if it will be as broken as Carbuncle was in the original 7 remake. So of course you got the standard edition, which is just the game, physical and digital. You've got the deluxe edition, which is physical and digital, and will run you $99. Now what's interesting about this version is that the digital deluxe version comes with more stuff than the physical deluxe edition, so it's kind of weird. So the physical version gets the game, a steelbook case, a mini soundtrack, and the physical art book. The digital gets all of that stuff, plus the Magic Pot summoning materia and 2 accessories, the Reclamant Choker and the Orchid Bracelet. So why the digital comes with the extra stuff, I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to do things, but again, that one's going to be $99. Now, if you're a big baller and you want to spend a lot of money, there's the collector's edition, which comes with all of the stuff I just listed, plus a bonus statue of Sephiroth. Now, this statue is beautiful. It's super highly detailed, but this entire thing will run you $349.99 US. Yes, that's a ton of money, and it's super expensive. So that's for the hardcore of the hardcorest. And for those of us that finished Remake as well as Intermission, we will get a nice little bonus. If you've got your completed save file on your hard drive, you will get a Leviathan summon materia for finishing the base game, and you will get a Ramu materia for finishing the Intermission DLC. So obviously your stats won't transfer over, but getting a nice little bonus like that is a really cool reward for the people that played the original games and still have their files on their hard drive. So up next, let's get to the trailer itself. It opens up with Aerith's mother, Almira, talking about how she's hearing people talk about essentially the world ending, and we see Zack and Cloud. They've made it to the Sector 5 slums. Cloud is obviously still out. There seems to be a storm brewing in the sky. We hear Aerith talk about how she doesn't like the sky, and then the words, "The world will be saved, but will you?" pop up. And that could be a reference to anybody. Zack, Aerith, Cloud, and Zack's timeline, we don't know, but that text is very, very intriguing to me. Next, we get the presidential inauguration with Rufus, that big old parade. And what better way to celebrate than launching the gigantic Junon cannon with a massive blast into the ether. Clearly Rufus is overcompensating for a lot, but he's pretty much happy that his dad is dead and he's the new president. So let's celebrate by throwing a parade. We even see Cloud leading some infantrymen in that parade as well, which is a nice toss back to the original game. Up next, we see a shot of what I initially thought was Rocket Town, but it's way too dilapidated. So I think it's actually going to be Gungaga. And if we do not fight that tank Triceratops, I will be mad. But they gave us the Hell House in Remake, so I'm assuming the tank Triceratops will be here in Rebirth as a boss battle. We see that town under Junon, the town with the water, where the people are living, because that's what a town is. We see Cosmo Canyon during the day, which is pretty trippy because we're so used to seeing it at like sunset or at night. So I'm really excited to see Cosmo Canyon at night, even though it looks great during the day too. Up next, we get a montage of all the cool combat stuff. There's some really interesting triangle symbols that show up for Tifa as she's fighting, so I don't know if that's a special buff, a new ability, or if they're just giving her a new combo set in particular for Rebirth, but it looks pretty cool. We get that flashback with Cloud and Sephiroth where Sephiroth sees the Genova monsters for the first time and he starts to question, like, am I one of those things? We get Cloud and Barrett meeting Cait Sith for the first time. They're looking for help finding Sephiroth, and Cait Sith is clearly willing to help them. He's got that super charming Scottish accent. We also see Cait Sith in battle, and I don't know if it's going to be a situation where his physical Moogle body is always going to be there, or if it's only there for certain attacks and abilities, but I'm assuming that for this specific move we saw, the Moogle launches him up in the air, disappears, the attack hits, and then he shows back up. So we get the buggy. The buggy from the original game is here. We're going to be able to traverse, obviously, like the shallow water and sandy stuff. And if you look at some of the screenshots and images, this is a nice, cute little touch, but Yuffie is sitting in the front with Cloud because she gets motion sickness. So they didn't put her in the back, which is a cute little detail there. We get chocobos. We get the Black Mountain Chocobo and the Blue Sky Chocobo, with the Mountain Chocobos being able to ride up that rocky mountain terrain, help us reach new areas, and then the Blue Sky Chocobos, they're gonna fly. And we see our entire party on these guys, and it's super cute and adorable. I have no idea if there's gonna be Chocobo breeding or not, but this is super cool. We do know that each region of the world map is gonna have their own unique Chocobos that you can capture. You can even kit them out with equipment to kind of suit your own personal needs. So customizable chocobos we can call whenever we need them, depending on the region that we're in. So that's pretty exciting. We get Costa del Sol. Cloud is riding a Segway, which they're calling a wheelie. He's also got a different outfit on here, so I don't know if there's alternate outfits for specific areas in the world, or if maybe Cloud gets a job at Costa del Sol. He's wearing what looks like a uniform, so I have no idea, but that's going to be super interesting. They're even tracking the distance that you're going on the Segway. We see the doctor from Medeal, whose name I'm completely blanking on, but he's talking about those Genova clones to Cloud. And up next, we see the big bad beast himself, the Midgar Zolom, the big Zolom snake in the swamp. He looks creepy, nasty, mutated, scary. That's going to be a really interesting big set piece battle, and I'm hoping at Tokyo Game Show that is the section they show off or allow people to play. I'm really curious to see how that fight in particular is going to play out. We also see the big fish monster in the town under Junon, the area where the little girl Priscilla drowns almost and you have to save her. We see that guy pop up. We see some of the synergy attacks here, which are really cool. Cloud and Sephiroth get their own called the Double Helix. Barrett and Yuffie get the Ninja Carbine, and Aerith and Cait Sith get the Kitty Cannonade, which is super cute. You take the adorable Aerith, the lovable plushy Cait Sith, you smack them together and you get something adorable. And in that section with Cloud and Sephiroth, this is clearly in the flashback because Cloud still has both of his shoulder pauldrons and you're fighting alongside Sephiroth, but you're not fighting the dragon from the original game. Instead, you're fighting what looks like the Materia Keeper, the monster that casts Trine on your party. So I'm wondering if that entire flashback section is going to be expanded upon now. So it's not just the battle with the dragon, but you're fighting the Materia Keeper now. So whether or not Sephiroth's going to be playable, I hope he is. He might just be like the super OP version of what you're going to become later on in the game, so that's super interesting to see there. We get a montage of our summons. Alexander's there. It doesn't look like Alexander's in the like Icicle Inn Glacier environment. This looks like the Shinra VR simulator stuff, so we're going to probably be fighting Alexander in the VR mode to obtain him. In between these next two shots, there's a fire monster. I don't know if this is a monster or a summon. If it's a summon, it looks brand new because I don't recall seeing it in the OG game. And then we get a great shot of Odin, doing his thing. He's got a really great redesign. He looks great. Up next is all the cool golden saucer stuff. We see our party in the train car going up to the golden saucer. Andrea from the Honeybee Inn is back. He's moved on up from the Honeybee Inn in the slums. He's hit the big time at the golden saucer. He's dancing. We see the lovable, flamboyant Dio as well, flexing his muscles. And then we get a cool montage of all of the cool golden saucer games we're going to be able to play. There's Chocobo Racing, which I fully expect Nintendo to send a cease and desist to Square Enix because the UI layout looks like something out of Mario Kart. It's very oddly similar. There's the boxing mini game. There's the G-Bike racing game, which is super fun. And with the boxing thing, it's the polygonal version of Cloud fighting a Shinra soldier, so that's super cute. Nice little callback to the original game. We flash back to Zack's timeline. He's got his own Kyrie in his timeline, and he's asking her to watch over Cloud while he goes to do something. Up next is super interesting. We see a hooded man at the Rufus inauguration, and I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's Reeve or if it's Sid. It may be a redesigned Sid. I'm not sure. We hear a conversation of Tifa and Red 13 talking about the weapons, the planet's weapons, their final defense when the planet is in danger. So we're getting into like super far territory of the story in regards to the weapons. And up next we see Vincent. We don't see him from the front. He flips out of his coffin and then we see him from behind, but just seeing his silhouette from behind, the hair, the cape, the quick shot of the boots, he looks sick. And then we end the trailer with Sephiroth saying it's upon us, the reunion when worlds merge. So it looks like we kind of have an idea now of what Sephiroth's overall goal is going to be, and it's merging the two separate timelines, Cloud's and Zack's. Why? I don't know. Maybe he wants to wipe out both timelines, and the best way to do that is to merge them, summon Meteor, and hope that that wipes everything out. And in that section too, we get what looks like a recap of what happened at the end of Remake, where all of our party members are fighting the Whisperers and Cloud takes on Sephiroth. So I don't think that's a new scene in particular. It's just a redone, more fancier, epic version of the ending of the original. So with that being said, that's pretty much everything I pointed out in the trailer. If I missed anything, feel free to drop those in the comments down below. There was so much that happened. I was bound to have missed something important, whether it was battle UI stuff, story stuff, characters. Let me know in the comments down below what you saw that I missed. And how did you feel about this trailer? Were you blown away by it? Are you super pumped now? As someone like myself who quickly soured on Final Fantasy XVI pretty hard, this trailer was an absolute shot in my arm. I feel rejuvenated, excited, and happy to be a Final Fantasy fan once again. I am Curious Corduroy. I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another.